The Incredible Hulk is a better movie than Dredd. Fuck you. Who disagree? Not Judge Dredd, that movie from 1995. Of course, Dredd is even a better movie than Dredd. A much better movie. Dredd is the remake to Judge Dredd from 1995 that came out in 2012. So basically, it's a remake / reimagining of Judge Dredd. Another adaptation of Judge Dredd that's completely watchable and partly memorable. As well as likable of a movie. So, why do I think The Incredible Hulk is better than this movie? Well, I'm not sure it's a good thing or much of an accomplishment when we get The Incredible Hulk movie from 2008, the second installment to the MCU since the first Iron Man movie that takes place in MCU canon. That is a better movie than Dredd from 2012. I'm not sure if that's much of an accomplishment, people. Well, why do I think that movie's better than Dredd? Well, the main character that's in the title, Judge Dredd, short for Dredd. That's what Dredd stands for, Judge Dredd, but that's short for Dredd. And that's what everyone, the criminals call him, Dredd. It's Dredd. Or Judge Dredd sometimes. And judges call him Judge Dredd, the criminals call him Dredd. As in the best of best judge, because they all know his name. In the comics, and also in the movie. Of this movie, and also the remake, or the original movie, that was called Judge Dredd, they used the full title. Now, I appreciate more than anything from this version of Dredd, of Judge Dredd from 2012, that he had the common sense and decency to keep his helmet on and cast a very well casted person that is perfectly fit for Dredd. And I gotta admit, I give this movie credit because I really like how Central City looks like Central City, how you would expect a more grounded Central City to look for compared to Central City in the comics. Which is which granted now, Central City was more faithful in terms of the design of what looks like in the first Judge Dredd movie, but that had more of a budget than this one, so, I can understand why they wanted to go more more grounded, low, less high-tech Central Show. And to be fair, considering that it was lower budget than the last Judge Dredd movie, it actually looks fairly decent and modern. Enough. So, look like a movie, and that should be released in theaters, Given how this, also considering that this movie didn't have that much of a budget to begin with, and this movie did leave me interested enough to want to see a sequel to this movie. Chances are that might not happen. So, in the meantime, I'm going to have to take my victory where I can get it for a Judge Dredd adaptation that's somewhat decent. And now I will say the theme score to this Judge Dredd, it kicks ass. It feels like an adrenaline rush. It also feels really intense at the same time, like a really intense. It sounds like what you mentioned. It sounds like a Dredd, like Judge Dredd. It seems how Judge Dredd, how you always imagine it to sound in the score. So yeah, the score gets a 10 out of 10 easily, and also everything else in terms of the aesthetic and the casting of Dredd and the choices made to the character of this version of the film were like most important to keep most noticeable. I noticed he kept the helmet on at all times during on duty. And I give that 10 out of 10 too, and also his narration about Central City, and that there's only that there's certain kinds of people that to bring order and chaos in Central City. And when it says judges, it like types of Judge Dredd, and all. It's like it's pretty cool. It's I like the intro a lot, you know. I like the scenes when it says Dredd, you know, where it's just Dredd and doing Dredd stuff, you know, like taking out, trying, delivering, being the judge who we know and love for the comics, Dredd. I like the scenes with this Dredd in this. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. However, that's not what the movie mostly gives you. Because there's a Achilles heel to the movie. Judge Dredd, at least 95 or 90% of the time throughout the runtime of the movie, gets benched to the sidekick. Yeah, I'm calling her a sidekick. You know, she's a rookie. She's not a well-known character, so like Judge Dredd, and she's rookie sidekick, basically the same thing. Tomato, bite me. So we waited since 1995 to get a really swell, awesome, kick-ass Dredd portrayal, and you got the perfect formula. You got Dredd down perfectly solid. You got the iron approved. What do you do wrong? You make this character, that's supposed to be the side character, the main focus, which is on screen. I want to murder anyone who came up with the idea. And greenlit it, yeah, let's do that. Let's not give comic fans the Dredd we all want to see and have them be focus. That's a stupid, won't sell tickets. But Hot Slut will. And yeah, I'm going to call it that. Why? Because that just pisses me too much fucking off to call her a well-rounded character. Because she's not annoying. She's not likable like Judge Dredd, however, or interesting, or as intriguing. So, fuck you, movie, and fuck you, toxic fans who worship this movie's ass. And who said, this is the Dredd movie we've been waiting for. No, it's not. Not when the main character is a girl instead of Judge Dredd. You. Okay. Deep breath. Okay. I feel better now. Okay. So that's why this gets a 5 out of 10. Fuck you, fans. Fuck you, toxic fans who finally live in this movie. Yes, I want a Dredd sequel, but only two things if it's true to the character from the comics that we loved, that I loved and read from the comics. And if it's R-rated, and third most, I want to see him be the main focus of his own movie. Those are the three things I want. I know I said two things, I meant to say three, okay? Dredd does not really have a character arc at all. So, whoopee fucking do. Great job, writers. Great job. Fuck you. And instead to give the character arc focus and giving who you give a character arc, the sidekick, whose name's not even in the fucking title of the main movie. Because the movie's called Dredd. Hello, people, what's wrong with you? You gave the main character the character arc, not the other way around, not the sidekick. Otherwise, you get shit like Michael Keaton's Batman movies. Like Batman Returns and Batman with Michael Keaton. Yes, I said that. Except this is a much better movie than both of those movies. Dredd is, from 2012. So, yeah. Because unlike Michael Keaton and Batman, I actually grew attached to this good version of Dredd. Unlike Michael Keaton's Batman from his Batman movies. So, the rookie goes to being wants good. Her and Judge change from like not wanting to, don't care about being a judge or not, just wants to do the right thing, and which leads to Dredd passing her on her first day. And says that she's a pass to his superior, saying that she passes as the test as a judge. Now she's a judge. That's literally all there is to Judge's character story. And yeah. What's the plot? Oh, Big Mama locks down the building. That's some giant mall in Central City. That Judge Dredd and the rookie are the only two active judges that are non-corrupt that can do shit about this stuff and bring order back into the building and, well, setting room free while they're being kept hostage and people dying and corrupt and a bunch of criminals that work for Big Mama in the side of the building are corrupt in the building. No one can get inside or out. In the meantime. So it's up to Judge and the Judge Dredd and the rookie to set things right and deliver justice. And I like the part how Judge Dredd does deliver. How he gets to after everything after killing all the bad guys, taking them all down, the worst of the worst bad guys, and it's all up to Big Mama basically have a explosive bomb wired in her chest that can also blow up the building. Or blow up a certain floor of the building. And anyway, it can blow up the building as she dies. So Dredd decides to say, this is not negotiation, this is judgment. So he saves the rookie's ass and drugs Big Mama up on the holy fuck, drugs her up on the really high drug high and throws her out a window to see because he knows his drug's strong and can slow down the heart rate. So what he does is slow down the heart rate with the drug and gets her high as fuck. Then throws her out the window and see if the building will blow up or if the drug she'll die before the drug even wears off once she hits the ground. So he wants to see. Let's see if it can last this long, shall we? and he took a guess. It was just a suicidal attempt of saving the day, and it works. And he delivers the line, "Yeah," which is the coolest thing in the movie. the whole scene, how it all plays out. Here's much more movie was this Judge Dredd doing stuff, instead of getting, thrown to the side as an afterthought of a character, So, understandably, as I went through all the problems in my likes about the movie, you understand why I have a seriously mixed feelings about this movie. However, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10 because I need nothing annoy me or bore me or piss me the fuck off except for that one problem with this movie. Judge Dredd, 90% of the times, is not the main focus in 90% of the scenes of this movie. But the rest, yeah, he's pretty much the main focus. The rest of the 10% scenes of this movie, So, if you can give this a 10 out of 10 and not have that bother you that you Judge Dredd that you've been waiting for, and get the Judge Dredd you've been waiting for, that you wanted to see another Judge Dredd from since that crappy 1995 Judge Dredd, who's Rob Snyder. And if you can give this 2010 and 2012 Judge Dredd a 10 out of 10 and not have that bother you that Judge Dredd's not even the main focus in his actual film, then be my fucking guest. And congratulations if you can, because I sure can't. I can only give it a 5 out of 10. That's the best I can give myself to like in this movie. That's as much as I can like this movie, a 10 out of 10. I don't hate it, but I'm not going to go crazy over it like other people have been throughout the years since 2012, I guess, because this has come with a big enough impact that people love this movie, but I sure didn't. Not when it came out, but I didn't hate the movie. I just liked it. I just didn't hate it because I wanted Dredd to be the main character of the movie, the main focus. Like the comics, Judge Dredd. Like it is in the comics. That have him throughout the entire story. The one story that focuses on about Dredd that the comics says it's supposed to be about, and so this movie advertised that it was supposed to be about Dredd. But here's the funny thing. All of those things that have Dredd being the main focus, all of those scenes are 100% in the teaser and official trailer to this movie that you can find on the internet. So, what I'm saying is, if you want to see a better movie of this, that where Dredd is the focus, just see all of the trailers to this movie that the promotional trailer made for this 2012 Dredd movie. And give that a 10 out of 10 until a real 10 out of 10 Judge Dredd movie comes out. In animation, on the big screen, straight to this show, I don't care how it happens. I just want a real 10 out of 10 good Judge Dredd movies. Is that too much to ask? To give me like using everything I fucking want from a movie that has Dredd in it, that should focus on him and have it be R-rated, and that's world betrayal of the characters? I don't think so, considering how bad the first one was. From 1995, Sylvester Stallone and Rob Snyder. For those who are a fan of the character and like the comics, and and really like this character, I don't think that's too much to ask. You're saying how bad the first attempt from 1995 was, and painful. So yeah, the 2012 Judge Dredd easily gets a 5 out of 10. Just don't watch the one from 1995, it won't break your hearts. It makes you cry and cry to yourself to sleep for months and years. The years of years. It never stops if you're like me. Is that what happened to me? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I said all I wanted to say. Now.